What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Coach Magali. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are not new and coming back, thanks for being here. And in this channel, we come together to make fitness simple and easy for you to do. So in the spirit of that mission, I'm here to deliver a video for you that'll help you keep you on track, whether you're tracking calories, whether you're following a meal plan, whatever the case may be. How to stay on track when it comes to eating out or dining out or attending events or just dealing with situations where you don't really know what the food is made of because you didn't make it or it didn't come in a package. And this is a big part of our lives. I hope that in today's video, these few tips will guide you in the right direction to make it easy, still keep you on track and still see your results, and also, most importantly, not cause you unnecessary anxiety and stress. But before we get started, please do not forget to like the video for more content like this, subscribe for more videos, and come follow me on all my social medias. I do have a podcast as well. Everything will be linked down below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So the first place that I want to start with, before we get into the practical tools and tips and how to get back on track or how to make sure you stay on track when you go out to eat, I want to talk about the mindset and the mentality behind how we approach this. I can give you all of the tools and tactics in the world, but if your mindset is not right and you have a very specific way of thinking about going out to eat and staying on track, it might be really difficult to implement these habits and tools because your mind isn't where it needs to be. And the mindset that can be problematic in these cases is having extremely rigid and strict rules for yourself and having completely unrealistic expectations and basically having this belief that you're going to be 100% perfect, that you're never going to make a mistake and you're never going to order something that's bad. Having this pressure on yourself can become overwhelming and very stress and anxiety provoking, and therefore we don't make the best decisions and we don't even enjoy it. Have you ever been in the situation where you know that you have to stay on track and you have this belief of I have to do X, Y, and Z, and you do one thing wrong, and then because you did one wrong thing, everything else feels like it was worth nothing, and you feel like a failure, and you feel like you have to eat your feelings out and start over tomorrow? That typically is what happens. And it's not so much that you made such a terrible mistake at dinner and that undid everything you've ever worked for. It was just you approached it with the mentality of if I mess up one time, one thing goes wrong, then nothing else I do for the rest of the day counts, and so therefore I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have to start over tomorrow, and I'm going to do whatever I want today. And the cycle just continues like that. We make one mistake, whether it's eating out or not, and we let it, snowball into this binge fest, and then we restart the next day, and then it just keeps going like that for months to years. I've been there. It is a very annoying and painful way to live, and it is not fun, and it does not even produce the best results because you're constantly binging because you messed up once and you never actually pick back up and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So how you approach eating out and what your mentality and relationship with food is going to determine ultimately how successful you are with being on track and enjoying life. Because you absolutely can do both, and I will get into how to do that. But if you have this unrealistic expectation for yourself, you think you're never going to make a mistake, and if you ever do, you completely throw everything out the window and start over constantly, it just isn't going to work. And that's just not a healthy mindset to approach this with. A more healthy mindset that you would benefit from is understanding that life is about balance. And in pursuit of your fitness goals and in pursuit of your health goals, you are not going to sacrifice life. You are not going to sacrifice things that make you happy. Yes, there is work involved. Yes, there are sacrifices to be made. But you're not going to become this incredibly miserable person just to lose 10 pounds. Not that you even need to. Having more of a I want to experience both results and I want to enjoy my life. I want to be balanced. And I also understand that if one night or one day I make a bad choice or my decisions don't go in the way that I want them to, then I can always course correct and go in the right direction. That it doesn't have to be this all or nothing. If you messed up once, everything's over. It can be very different than that. It can be once you make a mistake, you course correct, you make a better decision next time, and immediately after that you're back on track. And it's not this drawn out process of guilt and shame and binging and I'm going to start tomorrow. Start with the mindset first. I do have a couple videos. My podcast has a lot of info linked down below as well on how to work on this, but it's probably the most important part of all of this because if that's not where it needs to be, it's going to be very difficult for you to enjoy life and go out and still see progress because you're not going to be able to get over the fact that you will make a mistake and you will make a bad decision and you won't be able to recover from that quick enough to continue on in the right path and therefore not see the progress that you want. Start with the mindset. That is the most important part of all of this and the most effective. So now that we discussed the mindset part, let's talk a little bit more more about practical steps on how to dine out and eat out, or eat things that you don't know what's in them and still stay on track. So one of the things that I want to get into first is when you have a calorie budget or you're following a meal plan of some kind, you have to have some idea of how much you're eating, right? You have to know, I need to eat X amount of calories, or I need to eat 3 meals a day with this composition. And it's important to know that, because that's going to help you decide which foods you're going to order and which you're not going to order when you go out to eat, so that you make the best decision for you. So for instance, let's say you're tracking calories, right? And your limit is 1,500 calories for the day. You want to have dinner that night, and you want to go out to a really nice restaurant and order some really good food, but you want to stay on track. So what would be the best way to approach that day? There's a couple of different ways. One way is you can basically just have small snacks throughout the day, prioritize your protein, and leave a big budget of calories for the end of the night, so that you have the room to enjoy yourself without really freaking out. So let's say you stuck to a 500 calorie limit up until the time that you leave. So that leaves you 1,000 calories to work with. That's plentiful to order a pretty decent sized meal, get you full, indulge in a couple things with confidence that you're still going to be in your nutritional target. So that's one way. Another way is to enter the information that you know you want to eat for dinner. If you know what the meal is that you want to have, or you have an idea of what you most likely would want to eat, and you can kind of input that information based on the location you're going. So if you're going to go to Panera, or you're going to go to, I don't know, McDonald's, whatever, you input that information into the app so that you have it already calculated in there, and you're for sure not going to go over, and now you know how much you have in addition to that for the rest of the day. So let's say you wake up that day, right, and you have 1,500 calories that you have to spend that day to stay on track and still lose weight. So what you're going to do is, based on whatever restaurant you're going to, you're going to find whatever meals you're going to eat, you'll input them into the app. Let's say that meal takes up 1,200 calories for the day. That means you have 300 that you can comfortably spend throughout the day. Now, obviously, you would want to make choices that make you fuller, like veggies, protein, so that you don't spend a ton of calories, but aren't starving either. But that way you for sure account for the fact that you will consume that big meal, and you could do it with confidence. So you can either budget for it later if you don't really know what you're going to be eating, or you can pre-enter it so that you have that confidence that it's in there, I've accounted for it, and then just make sure you stick to it. A common question that always comes up when I recommend this is, what if I'm going to a place that doesn't have nutritional information, or that is not in the app, or that I can't find online? I don't know how much of what they use in the product, so I don't know how many calories is it. One of the best lessons I ever learned was, when it comes to tracking food that you don't have any idea what the nutritional value of it is, you want to make this a stress-free process so that you do actually track it and you do stay on track. So what I do and what I recommend to my clients is, I go into the app, and let's say it's a independent business or small restaurant, or you're going to someone's friend's house and they create this meal for you, and you eat this and you're like, I don't really know what's in it. So you're going to go on the app, you're going to search for that item. Now, when you search for that item, obviously there's going to be a million options from a million different places with a bunch of different calorie information. If you've been tracking or monitoring your food in some way, you will have a somewhat good idea of what a portion size of something may look like. If you see a plate with a bunch of different things on it, you can kind of guesstimate, okay, that's about a cup size, or that's about 100 grams. So you will find an option that somewhat resembles what you're eating. If you have a really fat burger and you have a big portion of fries and you're having a drink on the side, do you really think that burger is going to be 350 calories or under 500? Probably not. It's probably more realistic that that burger is going to be upwards of 1,000 calories, and the fries maybe 4 or 5, depending on where you order them and how big they are. And then the drink, whatever the drink is, maybe add another 200-300 to that. Based on your knowledge of tracking previously and just seeing different portions and measuring different things out, you can safely guesstimate it's going to be about X calories, or it's going to be X portion size, whatever the case may be. And once you make that decision, once you find a similar product or a similar entry, you're going to let it go, and you are going to put your phone away and enjoy yourself. This is the part where people don't get it, is that you need to be able to move on with your decision. Even if it wasn't 100% accurate, you at least tracked it. You at least had some knowledge of what happened. It would be worse if you just didn't track anything at all and guilted yourself like, oh man, I don't know what I ate, and freaking out about it, than just simply trying to go for a somewhat best option. There's a lot of situations you'll find yourself in where you don't have the nutritional information online, or it doesn't come on the app. That's not a reason to freak out. That is not a reason to get stressed. Just try to find the closest option you find, track that, make peace with it, and literally move on and enjoy yourself. The longer you spend trying to figure this out, the longer you spend trying to pinpoint gram by gram what's in it, the more you're gonna stress yourself out, the more pressure it is. And again, back to that unhealthy relationship, it's okay if you make a mistake or two. It's okay if it's not perfect. You're not gonna ruin your progress. You're not gonna get back. You're not gonna fall off track. This is not going to do anything bad for you. So, and in fact, the more you stress about it, the more you obsess over it, the less enjoyable the experience is, and the more guilty you'll feel. Make peace with your choice, move on, and enjoy yourself. So we've covered the mindset. We've covered how to budget for dinner if you know the calories or you know the nutritional information. And then we also talked about how to deal with those situations where you don't have that information. What do I do when I completely go over the plan? I don't track anything. I couldn't find it. I messed up. Whatever happened, it just kind of went all out the window and nothing happened the way that you planned. Let's say you budgeted for the dinner and you went way over the budget, or you put something in your phone that you thought you were going to eat, but you ended up eating something with twice the amount of calories. What do I do then? How do I get back on track after making such a big mistake? I didn't track anything. I went over. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Everything's up in flames. Help me. Breathe. Just like one healthy meal, just like one workout is not enough to get you in perfect health, in perfect shape, and cure all of your problems, one bad day, one bad meal, one overindulgence isn't enough to make or break your progress. And again, back to the mindset shift that we need to adopt for this. Don't expect perfection from yourself. Strive for consistency and strive to get the information that you need and strive to stay the course as much as possible. But if and when the mistakes happen, because they will, you can make peace with that and say, you know what? I made a mistake. I went over. I didn't track anything. It went completely the opposite of how I planned it to go. But what I'm going to do from this moment on is I'm going to get back on track. So let's say you went to, I don't know, some random restaurant. You ordered a Dine burger with fries and a drink and all these crazy things, and you are probably 4,000 calories deep in the negative. So like your goal was 1,500. You ate 6,000 calories that day. Okay. And just next meal, maybe have a salad. Or make sure you get your workout in the next day. And don't come at it from a place of I'm punishing myself. I'm doing this to punish myself for the fact that I did that. It's just getting back on track. Because when you put this like, I'm punishing myself for this, I need to suffer to earn my food again, I need to make myself pay for that, you're building this negative relationship with food where you make one bad decision, now you're a bad person and you need to be punished. And it's like no matter what you do, you don't win, you don't get anywhere. So don't come at it from a place of punishment or self-judgment or shame. Just literally, objectively, as if you're talking to your friend. Just like if it was your friend, you don't tell them to suck it because they're a terrible person and they deserve to be out of shape and they will never achieve their goals, because we all make mistakes. It's part of life. We expect that of other people. But when it comes to us, we put this weird pressure on ourselves that it's not going to happen, and then it just doesn't work. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't work. Don't punish yourself about it. Just get back on track. What is the next best thing I can do now? How can I get back on track without making myself feel bad? Just make yourself feel like you're getting back on it and literally picking up where you left off. So whatever you were doing the time before you messed up, literally get back to doing that. Without overcompensating, without overshooting, without cutting your calories in half, without running 10,000 miles just to earn your food. Just get back on track. That's all you have to do. And move on. Moving on and being able to bounce back from mistakes is probably one of the biggest things that I want you to take from this video. Is that's what it takes to stay on track, because you will make mistakes. You will do things that aren't on plan all the time. I still do them. My clients still do them, and I don't expect that to change. What I do expect to change is a mindset behind those mistakes and how we bounce back from them and ensure that we don't stay in this downward spiral of mistakes for too long. And that comes from just adopting a healthy mindset. Like, okay, I made a mistake, I'm gonna move on. It's all good. That's basically an overview, you guys, of how to go out, dine out, go to events, and basically deal with not cooking your own food and still being able to see the results that you're after. Unfortunately, this whole tracking while dining out and eating out becomes very stressful for people unnecessarily. They spend a lot of time and energy into figuring this out. But just like I described in the video, it is really simple and it is straightforward, and it just takes a bit of adjustment, a bit of pre-planning, a bit of smart choices to still get the results that you want. Lose the weight, build the muscle, get in shape, get healthy, but also still enjoy your life and not feel like you're missing out on all the great experiences life has to offer, because it doesn't have to be either or. You don't only have to be in shape and or only enjoy life. Like, you can have a blend of both. It is 100% possible. I hope that this video helped to show you that. I hope you have more peace of mind as well, and feel a little bit more confident in your choices and feel more confident in your ability to have fun and still see the progress. I hope that maybe you found a tip that you didn't know about, or just, I hope this helped. I hope this clarified things for you guys. If you did enjoy the video, please do not forget to like it. It helps YouTube let me know that you guys are enjoying them, and it also helps to spread the message out to more people who may need to hear this. Please do not forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Leave me any questions or comments down below. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks for being here, and I will catch you in the next video.